Uncomfortable Convos. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface. And I want to welcome you guys back to another episode. Thank you guys for always tuning in, always supporting your boy, always, making this podcast such a success and all the feedback that I get from you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. This is the reason why I keep doing it. Wherever you're listening to, give us a thumbs up, a 5-star rating, whatever you can. It helps out the podcast so much. And thank you guys. Thank you for always supporting your boy. But obviously, end of 2024, we're here. Another year, 2025 is going to be even bigger and better. I know everybody always says that, but there's some actual people who out there who try to make it bigger and better instead of just saying it, So hopefully that, this episode is going to motivate them to be like, yo, I keep saying this shit and I make nothing happen, right? So that's why, hopefully you get something out of this podcast. So, 2024 for me has been a great year. Some good things, mainly good things this year. I can't really think of anything bad. The only thing bad that I would say happened to me this year, and it's not even that bad, it's that I did move away from family, meaning like I'm out here in Arizona now. The majority of my family is in Idaho. And just moving away, it sucks because you don't get to see your parents all the time, right? You don't get to see, especially my nephew, brothers and sisters, and things like that. So I think would be the only biggest thing that happened this year, the worst thing that happened this year. And that's why I said it's not necessarily bad. It sucks, right? But I think the best thing for me, what happened this year, was I got out of Idaho. And the reason I say I think that's the best thing, because Idaho is such a small town that a lot of people there have this small mind mentality, small town mentality. You tell them a dream, a goal or something like that, and they really don't. It's impossible to them. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I'm saying for the most part, a lot of people. And when I go back, to visit or to go to work and stuff like that, I start realizing, well, I even say to myself, why did it take me so long to leave? Why did it take me so long to leave this place? It's small. Compared to here, Arizona, there's a lot more growth mindset, dreams, visions. A lot of people out here are actually hustling, trying to make those dreams into reality. And so that's why just that mindset, that motivation that you get from there and over here is, if you live in a small town or you are familiar with some of these feelings that I was feeling, definitely, if you can, just move. Just get your shit, move. Obviously, make sure everything is, you're going to be all right. Don't just move and then be home. Some people have done it too. They move and they're homeless and shit. But that was one of the best things that I ever did, was end up moving from Idaho. And it's one of the best decisions. And I think that would be one of the best things that happened this year. Obviously there's others, but if you we had to nail it, I'm talking about growth as a person, being to get to that next step, that next level. And for me in 2025, what I want to do is, hopefully, I actually want to make a vision board. I never make vision boards because I'm always I don't got time, but I actually want to write down my goals. Some of my goals for 2024 for the IG was to hit 100K, but I started it late. And so really it's kind of hard, but it's been growing super fast. If you haven't followed me on IG, definitely Scar Talks. That's where I post the questions. And I also wanted to get to 100K on TikTok, which I'm less than 2,000 away to hit 100K. So we close. We basically hit the goal, fam. And next year I will actually want to hit 250. That's if they don't ban TikTok. We'll see how that goes. And then on IG, I want to try to hit the same 250, just because when you start getting more of a following, the videos do better and the following comes quicker. It just happens when you have a bigger following, more eyeballs, more shares, you grow a little bit faster compared to small following, small shares, and so it's harder to grow, if that makes sense. Because once you start getting a bigger following, it's easier to grow. So those are some of my goals. Also health-wise, of course, everybody says health, but I'm actually being dead ass serious, because I struggle not working out. Working out is fine. It's just actually eating. And so one way to fix that, I actually signed up for the Factor meals. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can see the ads on social media, the Factor ads, the Factor meal ads. And so I want to start being able to eat a lot more healthier because I say this all the time. I want my body to be running at 110%. But if you want your body to run at 110%, you have to also be at 110%. You know, you have to make sure your body's good, staying active, feeding it right, and things like that. So definitely, I'm at 220 right now. I want to get down to 200 at least. At my leanest, I was like 190. So I'm not thinking about anything crazy. I just want to get down to 200 and pretty not not bodybuilding type of vibes. You know how some people are trying to be. I'm just trying to feel good, look good, that confidence booster, which I'm already confident as it is, but it just takes it to the next level. So I definitely want to focus on that. And I'm making the steps. And I didn't wait for January 1st. If you want to make something happen, make it happen now. Like if I want to do something, I do it right now. I don't wait, oh, I'm going to implement this next week or the beginning of the, no, that's that whole, you're not going to do it mentality. No, if you're not going to do it right then and there, you're probably not going to do it. And it's so much easier, especially that's when you're super motivated to do it at that moment in time when you're thinking about it. Just do it, just start it, whatever it is, boom, right there. Compared to, oh, I'm going to wait until New Year's, and then New Year's comes around and you're like, oh, I'm going to start next week because New Year's is like right in the middle of the week. I'm going to start next week, you know, fresh start, enjoy my New Year. No, come on now. What kind of mindset is that? So that's why like I usually get started right away, and that's why I ordered the meals right away. They actually should be coming in this next week because I just ordered them. I was like, I need to make sure I get my meals on point because I was trying to make my meals and stuff, but I slack at doing it sometimes, and then I just don't eat anything throughout the day because I don't have time to make it. And then when I finally do have some time, I just eat a little bit, or I eat the wrong things, meaning like a bunch of protein bars or something like that, which, you know, is not the healthiest in the world. So I definitely want to fix that. So that's why I signed up for the Factor meals. You know, and those are just some of my goals. Obviously, I want to make a vision board of this stuff. Me, it's not so much. It's weird because people are materialistic in their goals. You know, obviously everybody wants to have a nice car, nice home, nice things. And you get to a point where that's not really the goal. To me, is like, I want to get to, well, I'm 36 years old. By the time I turn 45, I want to be well off to the point where I can just be chilling, you know, chilling. Like I want to make some investments. I want to grow the social media platforms. I essentially want to turn it into some sort of show that some network picks up on, you know, and do it that way. So that's my goal. Like I'm telling you right now, you're going to see me on a major streaming platform with, you know, some sort of reality show, or some sort of, I don't want to do like the fake reality. I want to do kind of like what we're doing right now. Just talk to regular people and their stories and stuff like that, and see where that goes. Cause that's what we do on the TikToks and IG, like the lives and things like that. So I want to continue that. But obviously, everything's going to take work, hustle, grind. Nothing comes easy. Something that I did learn this year is that, you know, a lot of things are attainable, are reachable. Those dreams that you thought were crazy, now, especially surrounding yourself with the right people, you're like, I can make this shit happen, right? I can make this shit happen. And so that's something I really want to focus on. More teaching about social media, because there's a lot of weird people teaching social media right now and like different things. And so that's why I already had one class. I'm going to have another class here soon. I had how I made over 6 figures on social media. And so if that's something you're interested in, you know, definitely reach out. I'm going to start booking that. I'm only going to have, I think maybe 10 to 15 people. I don't like to have too many people. I just like it to be nice and small. So like if you guys want to ask questions, talk and things like that, it's a lot easier instead of having a bunch of people just randomly. So yeah, they cost money because obviously I have to prepare a lot of stuff, and then, you know, you got to invest. You know, it's got to be worth it for me to sit down and have the conversations with you guys too. So, I mean, it's a lot of goals, a lot of things that I want to do, and hopefully, you know, you guys have things that you want to do and just get started no matter what it is. If you want to start a business, if you want to start a side hustle, if you want to get into photography, videography, right now where there's a huge demand is people who actually know how to use cameras, not and edit at the same time. Not people who just because you have a camera doesn't mean that people know how to do it all the time. I tell that people, you can go and buy all the same equipment as me. Are you going to get the same product? Probably not. Because it comes down to experience, what you've done, practice. Some people, again, just because you buy a camera doesn't mean they know how to use it or know how to put things together, storytell. There's a lot that goes on it behind the scenes that people don't see. Color grading, make sure it's like visually, it looks good. So, but whatever it is that you want to start, you want to get healthier, do it. If your partner says something about it, they might not be the one for it. They should be supporting whatever it is that you're trying to do. They shouldn't be like, why are you trying to do that? Like, what's up with that? No, absolutely not. You don't want people that are going to hold you back. You want people who will be like, yes, that's a great idea. Or even if you tell somebody your dream, they'll be like, nah, that's you sure you can do that? No, you want people that, yeah, whatever we got to do and make it happen, let's make it happen. Those are the people I like to surround myself with. So definitely. All right. So another thing that I wanted to do, obviously, hopefully that gets your brain thinking. I wanted to play this game. This is that how deep will you grow? There's 3 levels. Level 1 is icebreakers, level 2 is confessions, and level 3 is getting deep. Eventually, I want to do this with like other people, but I haven't used it. It's been sitting there for a while. I was like, you know what? Right before I came over here to make this podcast, I was like, let's just try it out. So I didn't really shuffle them or anything because I haven't really even looked at them either. So as you can see, people listening, I'm holding up the one that says level 1 icebreakers. I guess that's where you get started. Level 2, it says confessions. That's the next one after the level 1 icebreakers. And then level 3 is getting deep. That's what she said. So we're going to pull one from each one and, see what comes out. So level 1, it says, what would you honestly rate yourself as a person? 1 to 10 and why? Of course, everybody's going to say 10, right? But you have to actually, I think the cool thing about this game is it's going to actually make you think and really evaluate yourself. And if you automatically say 10, you're not, nobody's perfect. So as a person, how would I rate myself as a person? See, I would have follow-up questions, of course, like, in what way? Like, are you talking about relationship? Are you talking about friend? But overall, I think I'm a good 6, 7. I'm not perfect. I try my best in whatever it is, like try to be the best friend, best boyfriend, best son as possible, like best just coworker, best anything, best person, the best person that you meet, best social media content creator. I try. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. I have my flaws, I have my ups and downs, and I have things that I struggle with too, and that's why I say I'm not perfect. So to me, I would say a good 6 for the most part and 7. It depends because I think I'm a pretty solid dude. I'm a pretty loyal person, meaning like if I rock with you, I rock with you. I got your back. But if I don't at all. And that's just it. And then I'm a very like trustworthy person, meaning like you can trust me with whatever. Like if someone tells me, hey, don't say anything, I don't know what you're talking about. And just because I'm that type of person, I'm a ride or die, meaning like if I'll rock with you until I don't rock with you for some reason. So that's why 6 to 7. If somebody says 10, tell them to tell you why they think you're a 10. Because again, let's be honest, everybody is not a 10. And if you're a 10, could be ego or could be that you're really not looking, actually evaluating yourself because nobody's perfect. We all have flaws. We have our areas that where we struggle with, we're not the greatest in, and we just try to be better. That's the only thing you can do is try to be better. It would be bad if you didn't try to improve in those areas, and you're not going to improve overnight, and you're not going to be perfect in every area. So let's be honest. Nobody should be hitting a 10 on that one. All right, so we're going to go into level 2, which is confessions. What are you sure of in life that something that I'm sure, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people they're like, yeah, is that I know I can make shit happen. Meaning, like, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Uh, few examples. I told some people I was going to, start doing the social media, what I wanted to do with it, start a podcast, what I wanted to do with it. And like, I stick with it. I'm like at 180 or 190 episodes, something like that. There's people who can't even get to 5, 10 episodes. I'm 180 in. So you tell me, like, when I tell you I'm sure I'm gonna do something, I'm fucking make it happen. Okay. And same like with these goals that I have with the social media, the podcast, career wise, everything. Like, I know what I want to do, and I'm 100% sure I can get there with a lot of work, hard work. Like, there's a lot of people who don't want to be doing this on their spare time or anything like that. Like, people who have side hustles. Like, I did a podcast yesterday with Sergio. He should be releasing it same day this one comes out. I'll share that as well. There's some people who, I dissect their days when they tell me what you like, how your day's going, or you don't have time. So some people will say, oh, I don't have time to go to the gym. And I'm like, all right, what time do you get up before work? What time do you go to work? And they're like, oh, 8, 9. Okay, you have a few hours before work. Why don't you, even if it's just for like 45 minutes, you don't have to go for 2, 3 hours, 45 minutes, get a good workout. Like, you are in and out, get in, do your workout, dip out, go home, shower, change, go to work. You're just a little too lazy to get up in the morning. Like, and trust me, we've all been there. I've been there. It's kind of hard getting up in the morning sometimes especially if you go to sleep late. And then I ask them what they do throughout the day. Obviously, go to work. And then afterwards, what do you do? And sometimes they go to the gym then. I'm like, oh, okay. But you should think about utilizing your time efficiently and maybe go earlier, especially if you have kids, because then they're like, then I got to spend time with my kids or family. So why wouldn't you move the working out portion in the morning, go to work, spend some time with your family, kids and stuff. And then after that, you can focus on your side hustle, side business, record a podcast, instead of go to the gym, spend time with them, and then you jump on Netflix or you just relax. No, like, there's always, if you really dissect people's days, you can find time. Like, if you really want to make shit happen, you can find time and move stuff around. It doesn't matter if you're a single dad, single mom, married, whatever. Like, people find time. You see these people who are single parents end up figuring these things out because they use their time efficiently. Same with I remember when I was working a labor job too, and I was trying to do media. I would do it on the side. Granted, I didn't have any kids, but I still would manage to go to the gym and then focus on that, right? And it grew into something big. It's people can make shit happen. You just got to be able to know how to use your time efficiently. Even if, like, when you're spending time with friends and kids, maybe you can be on your phone looking something up because they're probably going to be watching TV or they're eating. And there's different ways to utilize your time efficiently. Like, I get it, you want to be in the moment with them, but trust me, when they're watching TV or on their iPad or whatever, are you really in the moment? They're not even paying attention to you. Like, let's be honest. So again, just use your time wisely and just be sure. Like, I'm sure I can make shit happen. So that's basically what I want to say is, I know I'm 100% confident I can make shit happen. And I know that comes with a lot of hard work. I hate what was that book called? The Secret, where you make a vision board, you just visualize yourself in it and that shit happens. Yeah, one thing they forgot to fucking mention on there is that, yeah, visualize yourself in one. That should be your motivation. But hey, hello, what about the actual part? All the hard work that goes into getting there. It might be sleepless nights. It might be long nights. It might be early mornings and long nights. But they don't talk about that. And that's what happens. And if you want to make shit happen, you especially take shit to the next level. If you would just work a regular basic job and you want to go to the next level, like, you have to do next level type of shit. And that means, like, something that this person isn't doing, because obviously they're not there, but you want to get here. So what do you got to do to make that shit happen? The world is full of excuses. I used to make excuses all the fucking time, and I still do. And I try to catch myself when I make excuses instead of just, all right, let's make it happen. Sergio also talked about this book, which I actually want to read because it's called like the 5-second rule or something, because it's true. Some people if you think about a thought too long, longer than 5 seconds, you're not going to do it. Instead of being like, oh, I want to do this, or like, hey, I should go to the gym right now. All right, let's go. And, and make that decision before 5 seconds. Because if you wait until after 5 seconds, most of the time people are going to be like, I'll just go later. And then later doesn't happen, right? Or I'll just go tomorrow. It's a little late today. No, just make it happen. Whenever you have something you need to do and you think about it, just make it happen if you can at the moment. So just be sure in life that I'm 100% confident I can make shit happen. It just, again, it takes work. So, all right, let's get into this. The level 3. What's a thought you can never seem to escape? uh, the same way I am 100% confident that I can make shit happen, I still get the imposter syndrome. I still get like, am I even doing like what the fuck am I doing? Especially when bigger and bigger things happen, I start questioning, and it's hard because obviously I put in a lot of hard work and put myself in good positions to be in great positions, and I still question myself, right? And so I think that's something I really do struggle with, and I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to work on it. That's why I said again in the first one, I'm not perfect. Like I struggle with a lot of things, and I'm sure a lot of people do as well. But the only thing we can do is continue to get better and try to improve. So a thought that I can never escape is that maybe I'm in over my head. But at the same time, it's crazy because that same person is like, I'm sure I can make a lot of this shit happen, and it's something I struggle with. I know it's hard to explain, or probably some people are having a hard time comprehending, but I think it's the whole, like, we're always hard on ourselves, or always like fighting with ourselves in that way, saying like, oh yeah, I can do it. And at the same time, you're like, are you sure I can do this? And like, am I in over my head, or what the fuck am I doing? Is this even the right move? What's going on? It's just a bunch of shit we constantly fight in our head. And a lot of people, that's why I said a lot of people go through similar situations or something different, but people are always going through things. Like maybe this is with their relationship, maybe this is with their kids, maybe they're having issues with their family, like what have you. Like everybody has their issues and their own issues they're battling within themselves. Like maybe some past traumas, maybe some past things that happened to them, they still struggle with. Maybe they're struggling with some sort of addiction. You just never know. Everybody's always struggling with something, but since this came up for me, and this is the first thing that came up to my head, so it's usually like the first thing that probably you struggle with the most is sometimes I feel like I'm in over my head and doing a lot of things, but then something will happen. I'm like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do, or something positive will happen, right? And you're just like, no, this is what I need to be doing. Like I need to stop doubting myself. But I think that happens to most people. Most people start doubting themselves or getting that imposter syndrome. And it happens, and it's okay if it happens. It's just not okay if you get stuck and you let that stop you. I never let it stop me. It just sucks when, obviously those thoughts sneak into your head and you just sit there and think about it for a little while. But hopefully you can be like, nah, I got this. Like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, we gonna make it happen. We gonna make shit happen. Or I'm supposed to be here. And then something positive does happen where you're like, damn, yeah, I knew I was supposed to be here. That's like a positive reinforcement. So, this is a cool little game. Definitely made me think a whole lot, right? And hopefully when I was answering these questions and reading these questions, hopefully you also asked yourself these questions. Before I go, I want to do one more. Let's get deep. Let's get deep inside, right? Is there closure you never got to have? And this is something I haven't really struggled with, because for the most part, I feel like I've gotten closure, but I understand where some people struggle. Like they need to get closure. They want to reach out to an ex and get some closure. They want to reach out to a parent and get some closure. This is why I said, like, it's hard for me, because I talked to both my parents, great relationships, family. Past relationships, I don't need absolutely no closure from none of them. I've never been like, why did it end? Or like, it wasn't me or no. But I get it that that happens to other people. So if there's closure that you haven't gotten from somebody, definitely reach out to them. If it's an ex, yeah, might want to think about it. Because you don't want to go back and open those old wounds. And you could be here's the thing that sucks about closure. You could be left off worse than what you showed up. You're showing up to get some closure and you leave more confused, more even maybe even more sad about the situation, just because you thought you were going to get closure, but it went left and you didn't get what it actually, everything turned worse. Now you're even more fucking confused about the situation. So that's why sometimes I think it's just better, like, if you didn't get closure, like if they cheated on you and you want to wonder why, they cheated on you. That's all the closure you should need. It got to the point where they had to step out of the relationship and you need to move on. Um, and same with parents. Like I know it's a little bit more difficult. Again, I'm speaking just based off observation. It hasn't happened to me. Both of my parents are in my life. They never like dipped out. But how some people want to get closure with their parents, maybe reaching out, but at the same time, like they could tell you something that you don't want to hear, and it could make shit worse. Because sometimes getting closure makes your situation worse. But sometimes you actually do get closure. They actually do communicate why or what happened. Uh, like with parents, like, oh, I was just addicted to drugs, and like, did you really want somebody who was around? I'm better now. Like, it's just a bunch of different scenarios that could happen there. But as for me, I'm trying to think if I'm ever really needed closure from something, because my longest relationship, I know why that ended. There's no need to be like, was it me? No, no, it was the fucking both of us. And then the relationships after that, really don't even think about them. Sometimes I forget I was in a relationship with some of these girls. Um, they're probably gonna fucking hate me. Because I'm honest, I don't think about them. It just, I don't, because they're in the past, right? We keep everything in the past. So, I mean, I'm gonna pull one more because that one I just can't relate to, because I don't need closure from anybody, And if you've left my life, then there's a reason for it. Do I need to know what it was? Nah, like, you left for a reason. All right. When do you feel most like you? And this sucks. I mean, it sucks for other people, because I feel the most like me when I'm doing this stuff, like doing the social recording, filming, editing. Like, that's where I get fulfilled. Like, I feel the most, like, I feel motivated. I feel not like down. And it sucks because I like to stay in that, because I know I'm trying to make something happen. I'm trying to grow. And it's been a problem in the past where, like say I start talking to somebody or something happens, I'm willing to risk relationships because I know where I can get, and that's why, like, I had that mindset. And shout out to my boy John, he checked me. Um, that's why I said, like, willing to risk relationships. I stopped messaging friends and people. I would just focus. I was locked in. So much so I wasn't messaging people. I wasn't like, hey, like, let's meet up and get a quick lunch. Let's just relax. Let's catch up a little bit. And he told me, he's like, it's like, what's up, dude? Like, we're friends. And you can take a day and just come and hang out or talk and be like, hang out, see what we're up to, see what you're up to. And they're like, we're friends at the end of the day. Like this isn't right. And it was true. That's why, like, now the handful of friends that I do have, I do try to make time for them. Like, when I go back to Idaho, hey, I'm in town, want to get lunch, want to get dinner. People can't act like I haven't done that. I go back every time and I reach out to people. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go to dinner here. Like, y'all want to meet up? And if they can't make it, they can't make it. Like, it's no biggie. But I don't want them to say that, hey, I wasn't trying. Okay. So I think that's why I said it sucks and it's good. It sucks for the people around me, because people don't understand how fulfilled I get with doing this stuff, and how fulfilled I get where I know I can take this to, like, a huge level. But at the same time, like if I'm not doing it, I don't feel like me. I don't feel like I'm doing what I like to do. Like this is fun to me. This is fun. It doesn't feel like work. A lot of people like, oh, this is some sort of job. Like, oh, I have to record. No, not me. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I got to make this happen. Like, I'm excited to jump on a new podcast. I'm excited to see what kind of feedback I get on this topic. Same with TikToks. I'm excited what kind of feedback I'm going to get on this one. I think it's going to go this way. Um, but I get so invested into that, and I like it though because I feel like me. I know it's hard to comprehend, but I'm sure people can understand that, but in their own right, like their own way. Um, and yeah, that's why I said like it sucks for other people, and it sucks for me too because like that. Imagine feeling that you feel the most like you when you're doing this stuff. And there's not a lot of people who like to do this stuff, and that's fine. That's okay. That's why I do a lot of the shit by myself. I record my episodes by myself, the TikToks by myself. I go out and film content. Like today, I want to go to this taco place and go record content. I'm gonna go by myself. Like I don't need people. um, like I can do it on my own. Like it doesn't bug me at all. I just like making content. Like this shit is fun to me. I like and I enjoy doing it, and I feel most like me while doing it. Like if you ever meet me in person and we start talking about content and business, like that's another thing, business, I light up. I can talk for days. But if we're talking about like, oh, like, hey, like I went to this party, I did this and did this, and I'm just like, I really don't care for partying. Like I'll just be honest. But if we start talking business, if we start talking about social media, I light up and I'm just like, let's go, let's talk about it. And people can tell you, like, I just get super passionate about social media, content, and talking about businesses, investments, and things like that, and just growing as a person. Like that shit, I light the fuck up. But it has its downsides too, because like, imagine I don't feel like that, like I'm not doing it, and I don't feel the same, right? Uh, that's why like when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and then I had the whole swelling shit going on with my face. I wasn't jumping on live. I wasn't recording any content. Like, and I got not super bad, but I got in a deep funk. Like I felt like I wasn't doing shit with my life. I was having panic attacks because I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on? Is this the end of me making content? Like, what the, like worst case scenario type of shit. And I don't know how my mind got there, uh, but it got there. And so, and that's what I mean. Like, I struggle with it, but it's nobody's perfect. I can't help it. I can't. I wish there was a way we could go in our brain and be like, all right, let's fix this, and then we good. It's not how it works. Uh, we struggle with our stuff, and we just try to get better. And unfortunately, I don't want to get better to the fact where I love doing this stuff because I would never want to feel like it's a job. Never, never would want to be forced to record these videos for you guys, the podcast. I would never want to feel like that. I love doing it for you guys, and like even before the podcast started making good moves, and then same with the TikTok, like I was doing this shit for free. Like nobody was paying me, nobody pays me, nobody buys me my equipment. I buy it. you know, uh, in the past I did get sponsored by a few things that helped along the way, but I actually stopped searching for sponsors just because I said I want somebody to sponsor the podcast, but that is willing to reach out and be like, "Hey, I saw your stuff. You're making some moves. How do we get involved?" Instead of me reaching out to people and be like, "Hey, hey, hey." Of course I can do that, but at the end of the day, it's more of like I feel like it's more of a forced sponsorship than a genuine. Hey, like how do I be part of this? How do I do this? So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna reach out to people anymore. I'm just gonna wait because I know it will come. I know somebody big will come along and be like, "Yo, how do we get involved with your podcast? Like, we love what you're doing over here." So, I mean, this has been a great therapy episode. Holy shit! These cards really are great, and I can't wait to implement them with more people. And maybe adding a segment whenever I do have a guest of like we sit down here and we talk about some of these things because yeah, they actually make you think. And if you actually want to be genuine and real, that you're going to actually think about what you really want to say about these. Because the first one, rate myself 1 through 10. Somebody can be easily 10. No. And then the other ones definitely make you think a little bit about, what you are sure in life, when you feel like I've never told people that when I feel most like me. The only person I've ever told or I've gotten that out of is like in therapy sessions, is they can even like this is what I love to do. And I think just the fear of not being able to do it, meaning like if like for some reason, I think that's why I got in that big funk when I couldn't record because my face was messed up, my mouth was messed up, and I really got into a panic mode. So you start learning these things, and I'm glad I'm able to communicate with this with you guys, and you guys can see that I'm not perfect. I'm normal. I'm human, just like everybody else. I go through my ups and downs, yes, but every day I try to get better though. So anyways, I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Hopefully, you guys have a whole bunch of goals and you want to kill every single one of those. Make sure we write them down. That's something I do want to do this year. Is I actually want to write down my goals, make some sort of vision board, and let's make a pact. We're going to do that. We're going to make sure we have it done sometime in January. I'm not saying have it done January 1st because if you're listening to this, say you're listening to this on the 31st or on the 1st, right? Let's just make a pact that sometime in January, we're going to have our vision boards. I'll put mine up on Instagram and stuff. And we're going to make these goals happen. Because that's one thing that I haven't done is made vision boards or written down my goals. I need to do that this year. Instead of just being like, oh, I kind of want to do this and this and this, right? So again, happy New Year's. Hopefully you guys have an amazing, amazing day whenever you're listening to this. And I'll see you guys in 2025. Yeah, I'll see you guys there. That freaking joke. I'll see you next year. I'll see you next year. All right, later, guys.